nice creased shirt, state-of-the-art washing machine, select the right programme, press play, roll titles.
This week on The Gadget Show, Jason and I are being very nasty to gadgets.
Whoa!
Just how much torture can a mobile phone survive? This time,
My goodness!
we won't stop until they die. And high-def TV is finally here, but is it any good? John finds out with some exhaustive testing and manages to upset his whole family in the process.
Wait, watch Big Brother.
But first, Jason.
If you love your gadgets as much as I do, then prepare yourselves for something of an epiphany. I'm going to introduce you to an area of technological innovation that until recently was the sole preserve of your mom. Ladies and gentlemen, gadget fans, allow me to introduce you to the technological joys of cleaning the house. I sense I'm the only one that's enthusiastic about this. In a recent Gadget Show survey, approximately 2 out of 3 presenters thought that on this subject I was talking a bit of arse.
I think that's
Is that fair to say?
true.
That's fine, because you're wrong. John, check this out. It's the Dyson DC-15, and it is a technological marvel of vacuuming. Give it a waggle. Just feel that ball. How does it feel?
Oh, it's quite sensual, actually. It's like leaning into corners on the
That's
bike.
the ball. That's the ball that you're experiencing there. It's
lovely,
the
lovely
F1
mechanism.
of vacuum cleaners, John. But more importantly, have I convinced you?
Brings a lot more fun to dust.
Great. One down, one to go. Susie, up you come. In fact, come over here with me. Are you a fan of vacuuming?
I think, I'm probably not.
Didn't think you would be. Sit down, please. Glass of wine for Susie. And a magazine.
Thank you very much.
What if I was to tell you, Susie, in order to vacuum your entire house, all you had to do was sit there, read a mag and have a drink?
Oh, you're going to get a man to do it for me?
No, but I am going to get a robot. It's called the Electrolux Trilobite 2.0. It uses sonar to find its way around the house and hoover while you sit there and do whatever you want to do. And best of all, when it's finished, it finds its way back to its cradle and recharges itself.
So I don't have to move?
You don't have to move an inch.
No.
But wait, what about ironing? How cool is that?
No, Jace, it's not cool.
It is now.
Extreme ironing is for wimps. This is gorilla ironing.
I could put a nice crease in those for you.
First, I hit the streets with the T-Foul Programme 8, this boy racer of irons.
Carla, anything you want ironed? So I do a nice crease on the sock. I'll put it on a low setting, I'll do it there. It might tweak a bit on the nipples, but you should be okay. This iron's got Tiptronics, look, power control. All right? Super fast, accurate control of your power settings while you iron. But it won't burn because I've set it to cotton, which is this material, and it's got this thermo alert on it.
No.
Yeah, if it gets too hot, there's an automatic valve that cuts in a thermo alert. What do you say to that?
That's fantastic.
And it's T-Foul that comes up trumps again. It's the £200 Protect Turbo.
All right, guys. That jumper could do with the once-over. This iron is one of the most sophisticated irons that you can get on the domestic market. If you want to iron really, really effectively, you need a good, high-pressure supply of steam, and that's what that reservoir gives you, madam. You know what I'm saying? That steam is then fed via this cable into the iron. So the iron is a mere conduit to the real steam-powered engine that is that unit. The iron then forces the steam out at high pressure into the shirt. In fact, it's so efficient, I could throw this ironing board away. Look, I'll just get rid of that. See you later. Bye. So, thumbs up for ironing. Fantastic. But scarily enough, it doesn't stop there. The dullest of all dull white goods has finally had a technological makeover. The washing machine.
Of all things, washing machines are possibly the ultimate example of the white goods revolution.
This is Samsung's Silver Nano. It's got 2 chewing gum-sized, 99.9% pure silver plates, which when electrically charged, release 100 quadrillion silver atoms into the wash, which then strip dirt and bacteria away from your dirty clothes, thus negating the need for hot water and, in some situations, detergent.
Next, this Zanussi Timeline Voice. It's a multilingual washing machine that explains exactly what it's doing.
A short cycle before the main wash, ideal for heavily soiled loads.
Now you never need to use a manual again, and hopefully you'll always get the right setting.
Lets you postpone the program start time.
And of course it's great if you want to practice a foreign language.
Seleziona prima un'opzione da abbinare al ciclo.
Yeah, you can wash my smalls. So these two washing machines are pretty futuristic, but as far as I'm concerned, the daddy of washing machines is LG's Steam Direct Drive. It's got its own inbuilt steam generator, which means that when you wash, you use 21% less electricity and 35% less water, which, if you're into saving the planet, is pretty important. But this is even more impressive. Remember I was telling you about how steam irons clothes? Well, this washing machine doesn't just wash your clothes, it also irons them. You whack it on refresh, and 20 minutes later, your shirt is fresh, clean, and crease-free. But don't take my word for it. I think it's about time I showed you. Do you know what? It's not a full wash. It doesn't seem right. Hi, excuse me. I'm just put a wash on. You haven't got anything you need doing, have you?
No.
Thanks anyway. Clothes.
Okay.
Wash.
Yes.
20 minutes. Quick cycle. I've just got to wash on for about 20 minutes. Hi girls. I'm just putting a wash on. I wondered if you wanted to join me.
Your clothes have gone.
Yeah, you want? I'll put them in the washing machine. It's got a special refresh cycle. It only lasts about 20 minutes.
Okay. Why not?
Great. I'll just get the setting done. So you guys come here often, or? Looks like it's going to be about another 10 minutes. You want to go and get a coffee?
Yeah, why not? Okay, why not?
So tell me more about this script. So what do you reckon? There's a nice little sort of French place down here that doesn't love it. You see, I thought we'd come out of that film and Suzi would say, you know, for a 37-year-old Jay, you've got quite a nice physique, but this is what I get.
I can't believe you did that in the park in London.
I do it every Tuesday.
And I presume that one of those ladies was your girlfriend?
No, they were genuine people that we paid.
Look, enough of that. Taking your clothes off, Jason, is very exciting, but what I want to know is, does that thing work?
Good point. We put it on, as you remember, at the start of the show, on the refresh cycle. It's now finished. Here's Suzi's shirt, which, if you'll remember, was very creased, and now look at that. You have to, obviously you need to air it a little bit on a hanger, but look, can you see that? I just hold it up there.
Not bad, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to have sort of creases
No.
like you get with an iron, but if you were to put that under a suit, you could wear it. Here's another one that I did earlier, and it's been on a hanger for a bit longer. You can see all the creases have dropped out of it. That's definitely wearable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Good result.
It's a cycle every washing machine should have.
Cycle, that's just reminded me. This is a cycle, a bike in a bag. I'll show you. There you go, simple. This is the latest offering from Clive Sinclair. It's called the A-Bike, and it's been designed for commuters. It costs £200, and look at that. It's so light, it weighs 5.5 kilos. It's about the same weight as a big laptop. Very simple to use. And you might have seen it around or in newspapers and magazines. It's been around for a little while, but nobody has given it a test drive, and we need to change that. Obviously, this bike isn't built for speed or long distances, and with such tiny wheels, you wouldn't want to argue with a pothole. But its beauty lies in its convenience, and I love the fact that the chain and gearing are enclosed, which means that you won't mess your clothes up. And it's blissfully easy to ride, even if you're stupid enough to try it in high heels. Well, I need a break, and I'm quite sure that you do too. But stick around, because after the break, Gadget Torture, as Jason and I go head-to-head in a mobile phone grudge match.
This array of damaged technology may look like a sorry collection of defunct gadgets that we've just dragged out of the local tip. However, it's more like a rogues gallery of all of the stuff that we've ever subjected to our more extreme forms of testing. It may all look broken, but despite the fact that it's been blown up, dunked and burnt, some of it still actually works. Listen.
I feel I owe it to our memory.
But out of everything, the one thing that has impressed us the most is this, the Nokia 5140. We've cooked it, dragged it across a field, hosed it down, dunked it in a lake, pressure washed it, blown it up, and then blown it up again underwater. But whatever we've tried, it's always managed to crawl back to life.
Well, I don't believe that.
And it's not just tough, it's also a damn good phone. Isn't it, John?
Yes, it is. In fact, it's the phone I've been using ever since the Gadget Show started. I love the idea of a rugged phone. I'm always dropping mine, and with this, I never need to worry. I know we've done some spectacularly disruptive Gadget Show testing with the 5140. But more than 2 years of daily use by me is a challenging test in itself, and it's still very much in one piece. But there's more to my relationship with the 5140 than toughness. It has a range of features, which taken as a whole, you'll find on no other phone. Like the compass. Great for when I got lost on my very first day as a 5140 owner. And a sound meter. When I'm working on 5th gear, I often want to check how noisy a car is, for example. Ah! And with this, I can quickly confirm what my ears are telling me. Then there's the thermometer, though most of the time it's only measuring the temperature of your pocket. I also make use of the FM radio quite a lot. Still not a standard feature on many phones. There's a fitness coach, which I've never had the self-discipline to use. And a spirit level. I must admit, I did recently succumb to the temptation of an upgrade. But my new mobile stays at home. The old faithful rubber one comes with me wherever I go.
I've got to agree, I think the 5140 is a very rugged phone, but recently I acquired this, the Motorola V3X. It's the 3G version of their very popular Razr phone. It's got a nice rubberized outer coating and a clamshell design, which I think makes it a good contender for giving the 5140 a run for its money.
When you get a difference of opinion this big, there is only one way to resolve the situation. A duel. This will be a fight to the death. Though hopefully just the death of the phones, not me and Jason. It's Jason and the Motorola V3X versus me and the Nokia 5140. A fight over as many rounds as it takes for the title of the toughest phone in Britain.
Seconds out. Round 1. Water is a gadget's natural enemy, finding its way into any exposed gap and shorting the circuits. So we're going to be dragged behind a speedboat to test our phone's resilience.
We've seen the Nokia survive water submersion before, and it does claim to be splash-proof. But how will Jason's V3X fare? Remember, it doesn't claim any water resistance at all.
We attached a mic to the phones, so what you're hearing is the sound from our mobiles.
It's very charming, isn't it?
Oh, whoa! Woohoo! Oh my goodness! What a hotspot! Wow, that's choppy. Okay, the phone is very wet now.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Let's go!
My phone took quite a pounding and held out until... Swimming with the V3X completely submerged, I eventually made my way to the shore.
If you don't mind, I think we're going to get changed.
Freezing.
Absolutely freezing.
And while we went to change, the director tried drying the phones out.
Suzi, film this. Yeah, brilliant. I'll dry these out.
You may remember that last series, John took the bizarre step of leaping into a small pool to demonstrate how to dry phones and other gadgets out after a dunking. The basic rules are to remove the battery as quickly as possible and then strip your phone down as far as you can and leave it under a gentle heat for as long as possible.
Good. New clothes, warm weather, perfect.
Thank goodness. Well, we're dry. The question is whether the phones are. Just give it a shake. No, it feels quite dry, actually.
It should be dry by now.
After a brief delay, both phones kicked into life.
There we go.
Interesting, it's taking an awful long time to process my command. Whether that's the sign of some kind of problem with it, I don't know. Look at that, it's stuck. Oh, there we go, OK.
But despite the problems, it still made a call.
Ah,
There we go. Thank goodness for that. Brilliant.
So, my Nokia proved it's rather more than splash-proof yet again.
Yeah, but it's a moral victory for my non-rugged Motorola, I think. This tough phone lark's a cinch. Bring on round 2.
These fire extinguishers contain CO2, which shoots out at anything between -30 and -60 degrees. If you sprayed it on yourself or even held the nozzle, you'd freeze your fingers.
Sit there.
Die!
Leafy.
Die! OK, well, there is some moisture on it, some condensation on it.
Only SIM card.
Look at you, blasé, with your working phone.
I'm just showing off,
Yeah,
taking you
yeah.
some pictures.
OK, so my Motorola needed a little more TLC than Suzi's phone. And I've got to tell you, I was worried.
Yes, I
but after a bit of Jason love, it sprang back to life.
Icon, there's one bar. It's working now. Suze,
Yeah.
say cheese.
Cheese.
Absolutely spot on.
This ladder may not look like much, but this is probably the most important of all our tests. Dropping is a major cause of phone death, and a 2.5 metre drop onto a solid wooden floor is more than most can hope to survive.
A 3, 2, 1. Oh!
Oh, no, the cover came off.
Right, well, that's perfect.
All right.
Sorry.
Come on, little phone.
Is it going to come on?
Oh, yay! Oh,
that's
thank
good.
goodness for that. It'll take about another 15 years for it to boot up.
Let me shall ring you.
Yeah, just try and see if it connects.
OK, seems to be working perfectly from this end.
Just to rub it in. Hey!
See if you can hear me.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, who's that? Thank you very much.
My Motorola is performing way out of its class. So far, it's traded blow for blow with what we know to be an incredibly tough piece of kit. So just how far can it go?
Well, at least one of these phones must die before the day is out. So join us later when we get really extreme.
So, if you want to see what it looks like when a handset begs for mercy, stay tuned. And still on the subject of phones, did you know that in the UK, every year we throw away 15 million handsets? And perhaps even more impressively, we hoard 100 million old handsets. They just sat there in drawers, gathering dust. Well, because of this, a whole new range of websites have sprung up offering you hard cash for your old handsets. I've got 2 on my screen right now, Envirophone and mopay.co.uk. Taking Mopay as an example, I entered in the details for my V3 and my Nokia, my 2 test phones for mine and Suzi's item. And Mopay offers me £58.49p if I was to package them up and send them off right now. 58 quid for 2 phones that I'm not using. Similarly, Envirophone offers £49.23, so not quite such a good deal, but still very impressive. One thing I would say, though, if you're thinking of doing this, make sure you take all of your personal data off the phone first, all your texts, anything that could trace the phone back to you. Now it's time for the critical list.
This week, cameras. What you got, Jace?
I've got a Fuji FinePix camera, but I'm going to have to get up to show you how it works because it's got something really cool called facial recognition technology. Now, if I hold up the camera in front of you, Suzi, a little green box appears around your face. If I move it around, the box tracks your face. Let me just get this in context. This camera knows it's looking at a face.
Well, what does that do?
What it does is it sets up, I'll just take a picture of you while I'm chatting. It sets up the camera so that it takes your face with optimum settings, okay? So skin tones and contrast and that sort of thing. There you go, lovely shot. And more importantly, it does all of these calculations and sets it all up in 0.04 of a second. That's quick.
Well, that's
impressive,
really
isn't it?
I've got something here that's a bit of fun, really. It's the HP R967. It's got all your normal stuff. It's 10 megapixels, got a decent screen on the back, 30x total zoom, but it's got a design gallery inside. So when you take your pictures, you can alter them, change them around a bit. It's got all the normal stuff in there, retro and all that kind of thing. But the one that made me laugh the most was the fact that you can make yourself thinner. It's got a slimming setting. So if we just can grab our producer out of the corner, because he did say earlier that, you know, he was having a bit of a fat day. You don't mind, do you, Ewan? OK, so we've got a nice picture of our producer there. And then all I have to do is I have to go into... In fact, let me show you here. Right, there he is, Ewan. And then we go into our menu. We get slimming, go into slimming. And then what we do is we can see him change.
Fantastic.
There he is, look. Fat producer, thinner producer, fat producer, thinner producer.
Is it squeezing the whole background as well?
It progressively squeezes the whole shot, but more obviously in the middle. So you've got to make sure that your subject's in the middle. Otherwise, if your arm gets caught on the edge, you know, you'll end up like
bingo wings.
Bingo wings,
Yeah.
exactly that. But it's good fun. It's good fun. What about you, John? What have you got?
I've got this, and to demonstrate it, Jason, into the courtyard, please, as fast as you can.
OK.
Right, this sounds good.
I've got the world's smallest camera with a 10x optical zoom.
That thing's got 10 times.
It is 10x opticals. Normally, on a compact camera, you don't get a long zoom lens. The reason is, if you have a big zoom range, you end up with a big lens. It's no longer a compact camera. But Kodak have got round this by fitting two lenses into their camera. There's the wide-angle lens and the other lens for the sort of zoomed-in shots.
Ah, OK.
And Jason should have arrived down in the courtyard.
Yeah, we need to test
So he
it
can
out.
demonstrate it using his face. I hope we can get that close.
OK, let me hold it for you.
Oh, mate.
OK.
So there's the wide. We can hardly recognise him in that. I start zooming in. I zoom in up to the end of the first lens.
Yeah.
You know, he's just half the frame there. Then I can zoom right in using the second lens.
Wow.
And he's actually recognisable.
That's absolutely incredible.
Hmm.
Thank you very much. You can come up now, love.
Yes.
Marvellous. So, 3 great cameras with some really good features and a thinner producer.
Ah.
Always a good
Make
thing.
him happy.
Yes.
Here on the Gadget Show, we love high-definition TV. We've always said that watching a screen with 4 to 5 times the detail of a normal TV picture is a good thing. And now, after what seems like an enormous wait, it's here, at last. You can watch high-definition telly at home from your normal broadcaster. And even better, there's a choice of ways to get it.
Sky started their HD satellite service in May. Your existing dish is fine, but you'll need this smart-looking HD version of their Sky Plus box, which will cost you £299. And you'll have to pay £59 for installation and a £10 a month HD subscription on top of your normal Sky Plus package. This one is from cable company Telewest, which launched its national service back in March. You can get it down existing cables. Installation is free and there's no extra charge for HD, though you do have to rent the box at between £10 and £15 a month on top of your TV package.
So, the high-definition TV experience is finally here. But what's it really like?
With both systems installed and connected to dirty great big flat-screen TVs, I embarked on some serious watching to get to grips with what was on offer. Hour after hour, I maintained my vigil, gathering vital information. In fact, I put a total ban on the viewing of old-fashioned standard-definition programmes in our household, forcing the family to embrace the glorious levels of detail high-def gives you. Well, I say embrace.
Why are you watching the boring cricket?
Well, we're trying to appreciate this wonderful high-definition TV picture. It's brilliant. You want to try it? What?
Can we watch Big Brother?
Well, no, that's not high definition. We can't watch that. We're supposed to be doing an HD-only week trial.
Yeah, but you've been watching cricket all the time. All the week.
Am I selfish?
Yes!
Let's start with TeleWest. It only offers 2 high-definition channels, BBC HD and ITV HD, and all they tend to show is an endless cycle of repeats, which on the BBC seems mostly to consist of a promo film, and during my test period, the costume drama Bleak House. Let's take a closer look. Well, we're currently showing the HD preview, followed by more HD preview, and more HD preview. In fact, programmes don't start until 8 o'clock with Bleak House. Lucky me. And on ITV, there's the Charlie's Angels story. That sounds appetising. Followed by Personal Services, a film, and HD Stops at 11 o'clock on ITV. Followed by This Is ITV HD, which last time I looked at it was a still shot of a fountain. So, what about Sky's HD service? Well, thankfully, they offer a much broader schedule. There's BBC again, but no ITV HD. Sky One HD, an arts programme, some movie channels, sports channels, Discovery and National Geographic. But beware, some of the channels that say HD aren't actually HD a lot of the time. Today, for example, on Sky One, we don't hit an HD programme until 9 p.m. with a town called Eureka. Helpfully, if you press information, the display tells you whether the programme is high definition or not. The channel I found to be most consistently HD was National Geographic, and all those zebras and tigers running around in glorious high definition were a joy to watch. In fact, the quality of the high-def pictures was fantastic on all channels on both services. It's just a big pity that the rest of our TV isn't this good yet. I'm not sure this intensive TV watching is agreeing with me. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. Still, must be something on telly to pass the time. Haven't even bothered with TeleWest, actually. I'm sure it's just another shot of that wretched fountain, but Sky's sure to have something. Well, there's the BBC HD preview continuing faithfully throughout the night. Arts World's finished, the movies are finished. Sky Sports is poker, that's not HD. The Sky Sports HD2 has turned into teleshopping. Ah, Discovery. Extreme Engineering. In HD. That'll send me to sleep. As my HD marathon continued, I found myself starting to settle into a routine. Sky Sports channels were my favourites, and I surprised myself by showing a previously undreamt of love of cricket. In HD, it's a stunning game. When the cricket wasn't on, I was hugely impressed by TeleWest's on-demand library. There are movies, classic TV shows, and for certain channels, a selection of programmes from the last week. Some of this content is in HD, some you have to pay for, and some is free. You pay more for the high-def versions of movies, but the quality is such that even the most mediocre films offer a whole new level of detail and enjoyment. Even my daughters joined me to watch a couple of them.
I'm pleased to see, John, that this high-def experiment didn't lead to the breakup of your family.
So was I.
That wouldn't have been nice.
No.
But I did get a sense from that film, if I'm honest, that you sided with the Skybox, am I right?
Yes, because one thing we didn't bring out in it, but it was definitely true, is that the Skybox is much smoother and quicker to use than the TeleWest box, which is very slow and clunky, and you tend to be behind yourself with the remote
I've got to
control
say,
all the time.
I'm actually a big fan of the TeleWest box. I've had it since launch. I watched all the World Cup matches, Wimbledon, now loads of movies that have just recently come online with TeleWest. But I've got to say, I do agree with you, the menu system can be a bit sluggish, which is very frustrating.
And once you've actually seen all the library of HD material, there isn't so much new HD programming arriving as you get with the Skybox.
Although, obviously, if you talk to them, You know, they'll tell you that they've got all these deals that they're doing, and it's all coming online as the months move on. So I think both boxes are very much a sort of burgeoning technology.
Ideally, I think you'd want both. You'd want Telewest for the amazing library on demand, and Sky for the much greater range of HD live programmes and the better box. But the problem is that means a subscription of, what, 100 quid a month?
That's pushing it, even for us hardcore Gadget fans.
Now, it's time to return to our tough phone fight. My amazingly rugged Nokia 5140.
Against my Motorola V3X, which, by the way, makes no claims of ruggedness whatsoever.
Yes, I think we've got that, thank you. By the way, viewers of a nervous disposition should be warned that the following scenes may contain wanton phone carnage. The phones are about to face the firing squad.
This 12-bore shotgun uses 28-gram cartridges containing over 350 tiny lead pellets each. And it does this to an underripe melon.
Right, phone. Any last requests?
Don't be scared, little phone. OK. Remember what we discussed? As soon as you hear the bang, dodge right.
So that there's no cheating, we'll be shooting at each other's phones.
Put the gun into the shoulder, lean on your left foot, put your head down onto the stock and aim at your target.
Whoa! You definitely hit it.
Suzi hit my V3 dead on. It didn't fall, but it was pretty messed up. Then it was my turn.
Shoulder.
Got it?
On your left foot, lean into the left foot. That's
That.
right.
Wow! Wow! I'm telling you, if that works now, I'm buying shares in Nokia. Check it. Whoa!
Hey, we both got it. I mean, obviously you got it because it flew off, but...
Look at this. Hang on, but wait, Suzi.
You just shot it out of its...
No, I don't believe it. Look at this.
Hit me.
I hit it, sure enough, but all that's happened is the protective case has flipped off.
Do you think it might still work?
It doesn't look too healthy. Look at that.
Where's its numbers?
There's a piece of shot in the keyboard.
It's never going to come on, is it?
Fingers crossed.
Is anything happening?
Nothing's happening at this point.
Oh, come on, little Nokia.
Let's move on to the V3. Oh, good. Hey, honey, good shooting.
Thank
Seriously. You. Look at that. Absolute bullseye, Suze. If I open it up, wow, that's fascinating. There's actually, can you see that? There's a shatter mark inside.
It's come through from there,
yeah,
hasn't it?
Come through from the front of the phone. The one thing I will say is that the clamshell design has definitely protected the inside of the phone. There's no question about that. And that's kind of what I've been saying, isn't it? OK, so here's the moment of truth. I'm going to press the power button and see if it starts up. There was a flash.
No way.
No, there was a flash. Honestly. There's a white flash. There's another white flash. Come on. Can you see that?
Yeah. It's trying, isn't it? Not to be outdone, I gathered all the bits of my Nokia together and tried again. But it was not to be. Jason had done what nothing else had ever managed. Come on, boy. No.
Now, there's two conclusions that you can draw from that. One is the phone is dead. Two, I'm a damn good shot.
And so, after your cruelty, did either of these two phones come back to life?
Unfortunately, no. I tampered as much as I could into the early hours of the next day. I spent hours, but it's dead. It just still flashes, actually, if you can see.
And as desperate as I was to beat him, I couldn't get mine to even switch on. No life whatsoever in this.
It still looks quite presentable.
But it's your fault.
My fault?
Yes, John, it's your fault. Because you told us what to do with our phones when they were wet, but you didn't tell us what to do with them after they'd been shot.
And there's a very good reason for that, which is the fact that normal, sane people don't go around shooting the hell out of their phones. They find other, more respectable ways of damaging them. For example, in Sweden, the most common cause of killing a phone is to have it tightly packed into your jeans pocket. And in the UK, 600,000 people a year kill their phone by dropping it down the loo.
Oh, I've done that.
That's typical nation. How proud to be a Brit that we drop them down the toilet, isn't it? Typical.
And 200,000 people a year put them in the washing machine, for which my advice on how to deal with water would be most useful.
I must admit, actually,
That's very
it's
true.
pretty spot on.
I did once put my remote control in the washing machine by mistake, and it came out and worked perfectly fine after John's advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think what does come through, I mean, I know, shooting it aside, but they were amazingly rugged. They did so well, didn't they, until they got shot.
You say the word they, you mean it, don't you?
Yeah, I think my Nokia still wins, really.
I still think I have the moral high ground here because my phone, you know, is not meant to be rugged. In no way is it presented as an enduring phone, and it did great. I mean, look at it. It's virtually scratch-free.
It faltered.
I shall definitely be hanging on to my 5140, thank you very much, and I will not be lending it to you two nutters.
Ah, marvellous.